We've been learning about quadrilaterals for the last week, and today will be the last day that we spend on quadrilaterals. So we're going to review quadrilaterals, what they are, and how to describe them. So a quadrilateral is any four-sided polygon. It may or may not look like what you're used to seeing, like a square or rectangle or trapezoid. It could look like any one of these. So anything with four sides, and it's a closed figure. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral with two pairs of parallel sides, like these. It could be a square, but it could be a rhombus, or it could look like a rectangle that is kind of stretched on its side, like the yellow shape. A square is a special kind of quadrilateral. It's a quadrilateral with four congruent sides and four right angles. When we say four congruent sides, we mean that all four sides are the same length. Congruent means the same. The right angles are also all the same because there is only one angle that is considered a right angle. It looks like a corner. So these are some examples of squares. A rectangle is another special quadrilateral. It's a quadrilateral with four right angles, but the sides could be different. They are not necessarily congruent. Here are some examples of rectangles. A rhombus is a quadrilateral with four congruent sides. In other words, four sides that are the same length. And there are some examples of some rhombi, or rhombuses, whichever you prefer to call it. A trapezoid is a quadrilateral with one and only one pair of parallel sides. The other pair of sides are not parallel. In other words, they would meet at some point if they were extended. Here are some examples of some trapezoids. A kite is another special kind of quadrilateral. It's a figure with two pairs of congruent adjacent sides. In other words, they are next to each other or touching, and opposite sides that are not congruent. I know that sounds confusing, but if you think that it just looks like a kite, that's what you have to remember. And so there are some examples of kites. That last example down on the end there, if you think about it, it has the two sides at the top there, but if you flip them out, it would still look like a kite. Your assignment is going to be a Venn diagram. Now, a Venn diagram compares two things about what's the same and what's different. So if you look, we have a parallelogram right here, and this part of the Venn diagram are those things that only a parallelogram has. And this is the side that has only the things that a square has. And this middle part is where you put the things that both of them have. So I am going to tell you what these 5 things are, and they are going to fit either just the parallelogram, just the square, or both. So the first one is 4 sides. Opposite sides are parallel. All angles are congruent. In other words, all angles are the same, and they could be right angles. Opposite angles are congruent, or opposite angles are the same. And all sides are congruent. And so you can move these and slide them around into the Venn diagram where they belong. This will be a Google slide assignment for you to do.